Hello friends, welcome to Pioneer of Success. We are conducting the series Boundary Condition. In today's video, we are going to talk about what is symmetry boundary condition and where exactly you should use it. As I have mentioned earlier, it is important to understand the underlying details of every boundary condition and then only we will be able to implement this. With this aim, we are talking about this symmetry boundary condition. To understand this symmetry boundary condition, I will take a simple physics interface which is heat transfer in solids. So I double click here. It will be added in the physics interface and then I will go ahead with time dependent study. So again I click on time dependent. It will take me to the COMSOL interface and then I will create my geometry. I will apply this symmetry boundary condition. Initially, let us change the dimension to centimeter. We are going to take a block having dimensions in centimeters. Say I right click on the geometry and I click this option block. I can choose the dimensions of the block. Say the dimension, say height is 2 centimeter. Say width and depth, we take certain values like 8 and 8 for example. So I click on build. So it will actually take the geometry where we solve this heat transfer physics. So now I will choose a material. Say this block is made of a conducting material. So the common conducting material, say copper, I will be choosing. So I can write copper and then click on the search option or just press enter button. It will take me to the materials related to copper. I can choose any copper because this is for learning purpose only. So the first one, copper solid, I double click, it will be added to the material section. You can see the material has been added. Now I go to the physics interface. Let us look at the equation initially. So this is time dependent term or unsteady term. This is convective term. So here we do not have any convection, but still this equation automatically has this convective term. So what we can do, we can keep it as such because there is no velocity. So velocity is 0. So this term basically 0. This is the diffusive contribution where divergence of this q vector, that is the heat flux vector, is given, and this heat flux is given by the Fourier's law. This is nothing but the Fourier's law. Now this is the entire dimension of the geometry which we have taken. So let us understand this block. So we have 8 by 8 by 2 block and we are solving this physics in this entire block for the first instance, and say the blocks, all the surfaces are kept at different temperature. So in order to define it, I right click and take this node temperature. Say this particular temperature I keep at a certain higher value, for example 400 Kelvin. I choose other temperature at other walls. So again I choose temperature, say this part and the opposite part, they are kept at say certain temperature 300 degrees. So I have defined temperature of three surfaces. Those are the two surfaces where the temperatures are defined as 300 Kelvin and the top surface is defined at 400 Kelvin. Now the other walls, they are automatically insulated, and this is how COMSOL defines. So initially if you do not take any node, all the walls will be insulated. Once we keep on taking new nodes, new boundary conditions will be added and rest of the walls will be kept as this insulation condition. So you can see here the equation for insulation, that is the normal, there is no heat flux going normally, and that is what physical significance of insulation. That means you are not allowing any heat to go away from that particular surface. So no heat flux in the perpendicular direction of this surface. So now we can just create a mesh, and then we can go for time dependent solution. Say I will solve it for 1 second and with a time step of 0.1 second. So I click on compute. It will simply solve for the temperature profile, and we will get temperature at every point of this particular solution space. And this is what is our idea. So the simulation has started, continuing, almost over. Yeah, you can see this is how the temperature is distributed. And you can see here this surface was kept at 400 Kelvin, and the other surfaces were kept at relatively lower temperature, and that is why the heat diffusion happens and it creates a temperature profile like this. On this wall you have maximum 400 Kelvin, and as you go away the temperature keep on diminishing, and at the corners you have less temperature. Now let us try to understand how much hot this block is. In order to get this estimation, what we can do, we can take a volume average temperature. So what is the average temperature of this block? In order to calculate that, we go to derived values, right click on it, then we choose the option average, and in average we click on volume average, and this volume is selected. We are trying to take the average of temperature, that is T, and let us delete other values here. And if I click on evaluate, it will actually show the volume average temperature for different time steps. At different time step temperature distribution is different, and hence the average temperature will also be different. So I just plot it. If we click here, we can plot this particular average temperature with respect to time, and you can see this is how the average temperature is changing with respect to time. Now if you see this profile, the temperature profile, I can see there is a symmetry here. If I just cut across this, you can see this temperature distribution. Here it is maximum, this then coming down, and this is the least temperature. Now if we imagine a line across this, we can actually cut this part and make it half, because there is a plane of symmetry. So if we have a bigger geometry, then the computational cost is more, and that is why we can reduce the space so that it can solve efficiently, it can solve at a lower time. And that is why if there is symmetry, we can use this symmetry boundary condition. So this dimension, like this is the y-axis, you can see here, this is the y-axis, so this dimension is y-axis. So as there is a symmetry at the middle of this y-axis, a plane of symmetry, what we can do, we can take half of the geometry. So instead of this dimension 8, we can keep it 4, and we can make a symmetry boundary here. So now I will change it and I will show you. So in the y direction, if I make the depth as 4 instead of 8, and then again click it, so this is actually the plane of symmetry. So now what I will do, as I have reduced the dimension intentionally, although I will be solving for the entire block as it was before, in order to do that, I click on this heat transfer, right click here and use this symmetry condition, and I define, say this particular wall has a symmetry. That means a kind of mirror image, whatever is there on the other side of the mirror will be same on on this side. And this symmetry talks about this boundary condition. Now with respect to the equation, again the n dot q would be equal to 0 here for the symmetry condition. Now yeah, so the temperature of the top surface was 400, and the temperature of this surface was kept at 300 because the opposite was also at 300, so we can define the plane of symmetry. If it would have been the case that this wall is at 300 but the other wall is at say 250, we would not be in that case the symmetry condition was not applicable. But here there is a symmetry even with respect to the boundary condition, and that is why we can do it. Now we solve it again. So I click on compute. So simulation will start. So we are solving half of the geometry, but still we are solving for the same thing. So you can see here also we get similar profile, half of it. But how we understand that this solution and the previous solution is same? So in order to do that, what I do, I again calculate the average temperature. If the solution is same, the average body temperature should not be changing. So that is why, to justify our symmetry condition is working, we click on volume average again, and with respect to time we have this second column is showing new volume average. And if you see the numbers, they are almost equal. Because of some numerical calculation there are slight changes, but actually they are same. You can see 297.85 here, 298.18. This is the initial value. There might be some differences. This one is 312.64, 312.74, almost equal. You can see 320.01, 320.07. So if I plot it, you can see I plot it. So these two curves are actually coinciding with each other. Whatever differences we are getting, that might be due to the meshing, because for learning purpose we did not do a good mesh. If we refine the mesh, then these two curves should actually coincide with each other. But here also you can say they have actually they are coincident curves. And using this average temperature plot, we can tell both the simulations are same, and this way you can use symmetry boundary condition. So you need to visualize the picture of the solution space very nicely. You need to see whether a plane of symmetry there or not. If it is there, then only you can apply the symmetry boundary condition. If not, you cannot do it. So this has some restrictions. So with those restrictions you have to use this particular condition. I hope this video was helpful. You got some knowledge and you could be implementing this knowledge for your research. We'll be coming ahead with further videos on boundary condition series. Till then, stay tuned.